What is it like to live in Palm Bay, Florida? Try a sunny, warm climate, a laid-back atmosphere, and a proximity to nature. But it is also a fast-growing area with a healthy economy and a lot of attractions to enjoy. In this video, I'm going to show you what it's like to live in Palm Bay, Florida today. Palm Bay is located about an hour's drive southeast of Orlando and is located on the east central coast of Florida, and together with Titusville and Melbourne form the core of the population of Brevard County, which is also known as the Space Coast. Palm Bay is known mostly as a residential area, and in 2023 has almost 130,000 residents within its city boundaries. Now, when considering a move to a new area, one is usually concerned with the following issues: the economy of the local area, the cost of living, what is there to do in that area, and housing. And we're going to go over all four of those right now. Palm Bay is home to several aerospace and defense companies, including L3 Harris, Northrop Grumman, and Embraer. These companies contribute to the local economy by providing high-tech jobs and generating demands for goods and services. Palm Bay has a growing healthcare sector with several hospitals, medical facilities, and healthcare service providers in the area. The healthcare industry is an important source of employment and economic activity in the region. Palm Bay has a significant manufacturing sector with companies involved in the production of various goods such as electronics, machinery, and fabricated metal products. Manufacturing provides jobs and contributes to the local economy through the production of goods for local and global markets. Now, Palm Bay is located near local tourist destinations, such as the Space Coast and the Atlantic Ocean, which contribute to the local tourism and hospitality industry. Tourism-related activities such as hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues generate revenue and employment opportunities in this region. Like many cities, Palm Bay has a diverse and growing retail and services sector with businesses ranging from local shops to large national retail chains. These businesses provide goods and services to the local population, generating revenue and employment opportunities for all. Okay, so let's talk about the cost of living now, of living in Palm Bay. So you can see the chart here on my screen. So the overall cost of living for Palm Bay in 2023 is 90.4. So the average is 100 nationally. So that means that the cost of living overall for Palm Bay, per this chart from niche.com, is about 10% lower than the national average. But when you look at the different categories, the grocery, the health, the utilities, the transportation, miscellaneous, are all pretty close to the national average. The number that's the big difference here is housing. Housing being at only 77%. And yes, the rising prices are affecting Palm Bay as well, but they're still lower, much lower than the national average, and much more low in Brevard County in general. Palm Bay is one of the lowest medium cost price per home in Brevard County, which is what makes Palm Bay very attractive, is the cost of housing, which of course is the biggest number when it comes to your monthly expenses, is the housing expense. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the map of Palm Bay so you can become oriented with some of the streets. And as you can see on the map, Malabar, which runs west to east, actually is the axis which divides North and South Palm Bay. That's a very good road that extends all the way from US 1 all the way to the west there. I-95, which splits it in half. There's 3 different exits there that accommodate Palm Bay that you can get off on. Minton Road, again, is the access from north to south that divides the east and the west. So there are several major streets to help you get along. Of course, there's many other side streets, but these are the main streets that service Palm Bay. Most of the major shopping is along Malabar Road and along Palm Bay Road, which is a little bit north of Malabar Road. My name is David Jelenic, and I'm a local real estate agent here in the Melbourne, Florida area, which is also known as the Space Coast. Please know that I make videos that are all about the Melbourne, Florida area, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here. I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes in this area. I know it very well, and I want to tell you the story about Melbourne, Florida. If you're considering a move to this area, please know that I can't help you unless you reach out to me. So send me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'll be happy to address whatever needs you want for this area and help you with your move to the Melbourne area. So later on in this video, I'm going to go over the housing and what's currently available in Palm Bay when it comes to resales and new home construction. So an experienced agent like myself can help you with both resales and new home construction. Just let me know what you're looking for. I can send you the builder packages. I can help you negotiate. I can help you with all that process. There's so many new areas and new builders to consider, and there's no additional cost for you to have agent help when it comes to resales and new home construction purchases. Palm Bay is blessed with over 30 parks and recreational areas in its city. There are plenty of your traditional parks and playgrounds with swing sets and climb arounds for the kids. Palm Bay also has an awesome aquatic center for the public's enjoyment. There are several wildlife and sanctuary parks in Palm Bay to enjoy. And of course, there are parks and community centers for sporting events like soccer, baseball, basketball, and more. One of my favorite parks in all of Palm Bay is the Fred Popp Regional Park in Northwest Palm Bay. This 200-acre park is located on the west side of Malabar Road and is home to sporting events like the Brevard Soccer Alliance and the Bayside Bears. There are 4 lakes for fishing. The park has 2 large pavilions and a small one, all with charcoal grills and restrooms. There are lighted multi-purpose athletic fields, basketball and volleyball courts, picnic areas, a disc golf course even, playgrounds, bicycle walking trails, lit softball and baseball fields, and even a dog park for small and large dogs. In addition, this park also has an 18,000 square foot community center that is great with a gymnasium, a kitchen, banquet rooms, meeting rooms, a billiards room, a fitness room, and much, much more. The Fred Popp Community Park is just a great park for the young and old alike. But my favorite park of all in Palm Bay is the Turkey Creek Sanctuary, and in my opinion is one of the top things to do in all of the Space Coast. The Turkey Creek Sanctuary is 130 acres of wonder, biodiversity, and natural resources. The sanctuary offers a 1.85 boardwalk through beautiful old Florida landscape, 1.5 miles of jogging trails through the native forest, both excellent for viewing a multitude of wildlife. Within the sanctuary, there's also a 1-mile mountain bike trail with a direct connection to an additional 8 miles. As well as walking, jogging, and biking, the sanctuary can also be accessed by canoe and kayak. You'll enjoy seeing the alligators, the manatees, the turtles in the creek, and you might even see an otter or garfish. Birds abound in the old pine canopy, including ospreys and owls. The Turkey Creek Sanctuary is a must-see. And of course, these are just things that are available in Palm Bay itself. You have quick and easy access to all the activities in Brevard County or the Space Coast. You have the number one thing to do. It's within about an hour's drive, the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex, which to me is the number one thing to do in the Space Coast area. Of course, you have the 72 miles of beautiful beaches that are just within a half-hour's drive of Palm Bay. You got the Brevard Zoo up in Melbourne, which is just a 25-minute drive away. And you got golf courses that are all over the place. So there's no golf courses in Palm Bay. There's a disc golf course, but there's no golf courses, but you have golf courses that are 5 or 6 that are within a half-hour's drive. So you have all the activities and things to do. You can go to downtown Melbourne, which is just 20-minute drive or so, depending on where you're living in Palm Bay. But so the Brevard County, the Space Coast area has so many things to do, in addition to the things that are available in the city of Palm Bay. Now, the city of Palm Bay is literally divided into quadrants: northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast quadrant, with the north-south axis being divided by Minton Road and the west-east axis being divided by Malabar Road. of the 4 quadrants in Palm Bay, the northeast quadrant tends to be the oldest quadrant and the most dense, and the southwest quadrant tends to be the most rural. But there are new developments going on in all 4 quadrants of Palm Bay today. So when it comes to shopping for a home or looking for a home in Palm Bay, there are several factors to consider, and one of them is the fact of the Palm Bay utilities. So not all areas in Palm Bay have access to city water and city sewer. Okay, so here we're taking a look at Palm Bay's excellent online interactive map that anybody can access. So from this map, you can determine what address, any address in Palm Bay, what kind of utility service it has. So in green there is the areas where water and sewer, city sewer service is available. Blue is where only water is available currently. And then there's some other areas there in pink and other areas where water and or sewer is only available. So you can see there from the legend there, the northeast has the most serviceable addresses where water, and city sewer is available. So if that's important to you, then the Northeast has a higher percentage of that. Then in the Northwest, where there's some very nice new growing areas, that area of water and sewer, city sewer service is growing as well. Southeast also has a great percentage of city water, city sewer available services, and certainly just at least water. And then the Southwest, which is still developing, has the least amount of water and sewer service available at this time. Another factor to consider when buying a home in Palm Bay are HOA. So in fact, over 80% of the homes in Palm Bay do not belong to an HOA. But if you do prefer an HOA, there are several good quality HOA subdivisions, and one such is the Bayside Lakes development in the southeast quadrant. And also most of the new developments now throughout Palm Bay revolve around being in a deed-restricted HOA development, and they're happening all over the city. Now, as for the housing market in Palm Bay, the single-family home, of course, is the most common housing style in Palm Bay, but you can get a condo, you can get a townhouse, you can get a villa, you can get a half duplex or a duplex. You can actually get a canal front home there on the Turkey Creek in the northeast part of Palm Bay. You can actually get a riverfront on the intercoastal waterway there along US 1 in northeast Palm Bay as well. Now, when it comes to real estate sales in Palm Bay, you have to remember that Palm Bay is the biggest city in Brevard County, and there are more resales and new home builds in Palm Bay than any other town in the county. Now, for the sales for all of Palm Bay, and I'm using this map here, which includes a central Palm Bay area, and I'm using this map because this is the map that is used by a local MLS. So for all 5 of these Palm Bay areas, for the 6-month period ending in the first quarter of 2023, there were 1,384 sales in all of Palm Bay, with the median sales price being $334,000 for the entire Palm Bay city area. So let's compare Palm Bay sales prices against the other cities in Brevard County. So on the chart here, you can see that the 6 most expensive cities to live in Brevard County are all along the beach side, which is understandable and makes sense. But Palm Bay is near the top of the list here as being one of the least expensive cities to buy a home in. And that goes along back with my concept of Palm Bay has a lower cost of living because of housing. And you can see the numbers here that bears out the fact. So Palm Bay's median sales price of $328 compared to the median sales price of all of Brevard County is $328 to about $355 for the entire county. So that's almost 10% difference. So that shows that Palm Bay is a lot less expensive than most of the areas in Brevard County. So most of those sales in Palm Bay revolve around the fact that they're non-HOA areas. They're just open, scattered lots. There are some HOA neighborhoods in that, but most of them are non-HOA. So let's look at one of the areas that I talked about before, Bayside Lakes, which is a deed-restricted HOA community. There's 7 or 8 neighborhoods within Bayside Lakes that are deed-restricted. Each area is a little bit different in price structure, quality upgrades, that sort of thing. But in the Bayside Lakes area, the median sales price is $464,000. So that's a good $130,000 more than the average median price there for sales in Palm Bay. So you want a little bit more structured neighborhood, a little bit more where the homes are equally kept, gated communities, then you're going to pay a little bit more for it. But the Bayside Lakes and other areas like it are very popular. So in Palm Bay, you have the choice of being in a non-HOA area and perhaps pay for a little bit less of a home, or be in a gated community an HOA community, and it's going to cost you a little bit more to do so. Now, existing home sales are the most common method, but there are new home developments and communities all throughout Palm Bay. They're all throughout all 4 quadrants. It's most popular in the northwest, the southeast, and the southwest, but there are new home developments in each of the quadrants. You can buy a home in a pre-selected neighborhood that is being done by 1 or 2 builders, and these neighborhoods will generally be an HOA, deed restricted type of neighborhood. But you can also get what we call buy a home and a new home on a scatter lot. There are various lots all throughout Palm Bay that are individually owned, and you can buy one of those lots and select a builder of your choice to build on those lots. Generally, single family home lots in Palm Bay are commonly between $20,000 and $40,000. So as you can see, the city of Palm Bay is a very complex area, a very large area with a lot going on. If you're needing an agent to help you, guide you through the process of moving to the Palm Bay area with the different homes, whether it's a resale or a new home, I'm the agent for you. I can get you a new sales package for all the new areas if you're interested in new homes. If you want a resale list, I can get you that too. But there's a lot of factors, like I mentioned. There's the water, sewer situation, HOAs, prices, lots, just a lot of things going on. So my name is David Jellick, and I'm a local real estate agent here in the Melbourne, Florida area, which is also known as the Space Coast. I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes here in the Brevard County area, and I can help you too. But you got to reach out to me for me to help you. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and I'll be happy to help you, guide you through the process here of Palm Bay or any of the neighboring areas around Palm Bay. Probably the biggest new project that the city of Palm Bay is working on right now is down in South Palm Bay in the Emerald Lakes area, which is right off the interchange there off of 95, the St. John's Heritage Parkway. So they plan in the next 5 to 10 years to really develop this area. They plan on having a large lake, several large lakes with hotels and entertainment facilities. And right now there are several neighborhoods that are being developed around this area. There's not much down there yet, except these neighborhoods. They plan on putting a Publix up in the next year or so there. But this area plans, Palm Bay is really planning this area to be really a community development district similar to what Viera is, and have just about everything down there in its own little corridor in its city there. So look for something along that. There are several builders down there building homes right now, and you can get in with a single family homes in the mid 3s down there right now. Of course, if you build something bigger in the 3,000 square foot range, they can get up to about 500,000. But this is an area to watch, continue, and monitor, and watch for the development of this area of Emerald Lakes down in South Palm Bay. Now, Palm Bay has an excellent selection of schools serving its constituents. There are a fine selection of pre-K, elementary, middle, and high schools, and even universities and colleges in the Palm Bay and surrounding areas. There are 3 high schools that service the Palm Bay area, and that's Palm Bay High School, Heritage High School, and Bayside High School. And the universities are Eastern Florida State College, and you have Florida Institute of Technology, Florida Tech, amongst a few others that are around the Palm Bay area. Thanks again for watching the Living in Melbourne, Florida channel. If you're interested in more videos and information about the Melbourne, Florida area, here's some information and other videos right above.